Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
We welcome you all to an evening of Whodunit by the students of Class 11. I would like to take this opportunity to talk about the behind the scenes view of the play. The genre of Whodunit is comedy and mystery. When faced with the challenge of putting up a play production at the end of their academic year, the class unanimously felt drawn towards the genre of comedy because they thought that it would help them connect with a larger audience. Comedy is an apt genre to present certain grave and pressing issues faced in contemporary times, and some of those issues are dealt with in the play in a farcical manner. Therefore, we think that the language and the content of this play is aimed at a mature audience, and that is the reason we have requested parents to not bring children below the age of 12 years along for the play. So there was a script team which was responsible for selecting and editing the script, which has been adapted from the Hollywood film The Flu. All the props and the background that you will see in the play um, have either been made especially for this play or procured from the art village or collected from students and teachers in school. We began rehearsing for this play in November 2019, and the sets, the props, the costumes, the music, and the acting have been in a constant process of evolution since then. And the children have taken the ownership by showing their inventiveness and thoroughness in developing these areas. And we are confident that what you will see today will be the best stage of that evolution. Thank you and have a lovely evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Today, Grade 11 will be presenting the production of Whodunit, an adaptation of the movie Clue, set in the 1950s.
We request you to please switch off your mobile phones. And just a little reminder for the people who are using the buses leave exactly at 7:15 p.m. So please be there on time.
Also, we'd like to request you to use the path through the junior school when you head back to school, as that has been lit.
And now, without further ado, we, the 11th graders, would like to put up
Whodunit. So sit back and enjoy.
Anyone to death. There are so many better ways to die. Yvette, cook, is everything ready?
Oui, monsieur.
You have your instructions?
You want the dogs fed before the guests arrive?
No, I want them hungry. Cook, dinner will be served at 7:30.
Sure.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I have been awfully rude. You have no idea why you're here, do you? You see, it is the butler's job to make sure everyone is comfortable. And by the looks of your faces, I'd venture to guess you haven't got a clue. But don't worry, you're not alone. We are all in this together. any rate, not to fear. If I have done my calculations correctly, the guests are on their way.
Not sure if I'm
Yes, indeed, sir, you are. May I take your coat? It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. My name's
Pardon me, sir, but tonight you may well feel obliged to my employer for the use of a pseudonym.
a pseudonym. No, thank you. I had a crossing before coming.
Yvette, will you attend to the colonel and give him anything he requires?
Oui, monsieur.
Do come in, madam. You are expected.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you are to be known as Mrs. White.
Ironic, isn't it? The letter I received said I should refer to myself by that name, but why?
Mrs. White, may I introduce you? This is Yvette the maid. I see. You two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I haven't seen this woman before in my life. Oh, hello.
Hello?
Behold, said the Lord, I am bringing the flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh. Bonjour, madame.
Mrs. Peacock, I presume.
Book. Cook.
Look, you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen this woman before in my life. Who are you?
Hold that thought. Is this the right address to meet Mr. Boddy? You must be Mr. Green. Yes. Not you, sir.
Oh, excuse me. I'm rather clumsy at parties, I'm afraid.
Not to worry, sir.
Ah!
Bless you.
Oh dear. Is there a cat? I'm afraid I'm highly allergic.
Cook. Goat.
Kindly.
Greetings all! It's a pleasure for you to see me.
That's welcome.
That's
I
his
didn't
true
know
story.
you were acquainted.
We won. My car broke down and this professor gave me a ride.
Ooh, mocktail hour. I only drink on 2 occasions, day and night.
This really is a party. What is this God-forsaken place anyway?
I'll thank you to leave him out of this.
This whole place. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Boddy Manor. Cook, dinner.
Directly.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are all met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wadsworth, the butler.
And what is it that you do?
I Butler? You may have noticed that nobody is being referred to by their real names. I suggest that you refrain from revealing too much about yourselves this evening. Now, time to meet our guests. Colonel Mustard, Mrs. White, Mrs. Peacock, Mr. Green, Miss Scarlet, and Professor Plum. Dinner.
But I haven't even finished my soda yet.
That was more like a mocktail minute.
Forgive me, but we shouldn't keep the cook waiting. She can get cranky. Follow me, please. The dining area is right this way.
I don't really want any more drinks. Colonel, I'll just sit at the head of the table.
Find your names by your places.
That's why I have waited for you.
Please, be seated. Dinner is served.
Well, what's this all about, Butler, this dinner party?
All in good time, madam. Excuse me if you will.
Shucks, Finch. My favorite. Bon appetit.
I say we eat it while it's hot.
I like things hot.
But isn't soup supposed to be hot?
Thank you, Lord, for this meal that we're about to serve. And for our gracious host, whoever he is, that has invited us here tonight.
Maybe the host isn't here because the host is dead?
I'm feeling awfully anxious.
Well, someone's got to break the ice, and it might as well be me. I mean, I'm used to being a hostess. It's a part of my husband's job, and I always host my ladies' group from my church on Sundays. It can be difficult when a group of new people meet for the first time, so I'll start the ball rolling. I mean, I have no idea what we're doing here, but I'm so very intrigued, and isn't the soup just delicious?
Well, I think hosting parties is deathly boring.
Well, it's an integral part of my life as the wife. Sorry, I forgot. We're not supposed to say who we really are.
I know who you are.
How do you know who I am?
I work in Washington too. Oh, so you're a politician's wife then?
Yes, I am.
So, who's your husband? Maybe I know him.
Mrs. White, what does your husband do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, he just lies around on his back all day. Sounds like hard work to me.
He lies around on his back because he's no longer alive. Steve, what does your husband do? I mean, sorry. How rude of me to assume. What do you do in Washington?
I'd better not say. I like to follow the rules.
Oh, come on. How are we to get acquainted with one another if we don't say anything about ourselves? No judgments here. We're all God's children after all.
I don't believe in God.
Well, if I wasn't trying to get the conversation started, we'd just be sitting here in an embarrassed silence.
Don't you hate that?
Hate what?
Uncomfortable silences. Why do you find it necessary to yap about nonsense in order to be comfortable?
I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, in my professional opinion, I'd say you're afraid of uncomfortable silences. Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
I do know a little bit about psychological medicine, yes?
Do you practice?
Not anymore. I currently work for the government.
Another politician.
Not exactly. I do research for the Office of Social and Behavioral Studies. In other words, I study crazy. And I'm good at it.
You sound fascinating.
Thank you, Colonel. You are a real colonel, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Aren't you going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C.?
How did you know that?
Oh, I've seen you before.
So, Miss Scarlett, does that mean you live in Washington too?
I do everything in Washington. Mr. Green.
Does anyone here not live in Washington, D.C.?
What? We have had enough of this. Where's the horse and why have we been brought here?
Excuse me if you will, sir. Good evening, sir. You are eagerly awaited.
Thank you, Wadsworth. It's good to be home. Are the guests all here?
In the dining room, sir.
Right on schedule. I'll meet you in the study then, as planned.
May I take your bags?
No, Wadsworth. I'll keep them with me.
They contain more evidence, I assume.
Never assume, Wadsworth. It is much more fun to be surprised.
For God's sake, Wadsworth, I demand to know what's going on right now.
Right. I believe you've all received a letter, yes?
Yes, I did receive it in my mailbox.
And you have them with you? And am I correct that each of your letters have advised you to be present this evening because a certain Mr. Boddy has promised to bring an end to a long-standing, painful financial liability?
Yeah.
How did you know?
Can I interest anyone in some dessert?
No!
In that case, I suggest we adjourn to the study where your letters will be explained and the game will be afoot.
Does that mean you're single?
I feel like most of you would cheat this game.
How much ever I
Thank you, Yvette. That'll be all.
Oui, monsieur.
Well, where is our host?
He's not here. Nobody is here. What is happening?
Please! Mrs. Peacock, have a drink.
want a mint?
Oh, Wadsworth. Open after dinner. It's for you.
Bless you.
Sorry, there really must be a cat somewhere.
Right then. Are you comfortable?
I make a good living. Oh, out with it, Wadsworth.
Ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are clear. It seems that the 6 of you have one thing in common. You are all being blackmailed. For some considerable amount of time, you have been paying what you can afford and, in some cases, more than you can afford to someone who threatens to expose you.
Oh, please. I've never heard something quite so ridiculous. I mean, nobody could blackmail me. I go to church every Sunday.
Young lady, don't we all?
Anybody else want to deny this? Good. Until tonight, nobody knew who was blackmailing you. I hope I'm correct that the more deductive among you have reasoned in the past several moments that it was in fact Mr. Boddy himself, and the less discerning members among our cadre are experiencing that particular revelation right about
It was Mr. Boddy!
now.
I have half a mind to call the congressman right
What
now.
are you, his henchman? You pompous British
Oh, this dress is not good for my blood pressure. What do we do now?
And who is this body fella you
What's
little shit?
going on here? I demand to know.
I buried 5 husbands. You think I can't handle a little damage?
Enough! My orders this evening are to expose your secrets to each other, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
Don't you think you might spare us the humiliation?
I'm sorry, madam, but I have my orders. We'll start with you, Professor Plum.
Lucky you.
Luck has got nothing to do with it.
You were once a professor of psychiatry, specializing in helping lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the US government.
So your work hasn't really changed, huh? But you can't practice medicine anymore, can you? Your license has been lifted.
Why? What'd he do?
You know what male doctors aren't supposed to do with their patients?
Yeah.
Well, he did. Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock? How then do you justify taking bribes in order to deliver Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There's nothing sinful about that.
Not if it's publicly declared, perhaps. But isn't it a sin for a sneaky senator's wife to take bribes under the men's stall of the old Herbert Grill? How would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
When were you in that men's room?
So it's
No, it's a vicious lie.
But you have been paying blackmail for over a year to keep that story out of the papers.
Well, I'm willing to believe you. I too am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
Me too.
and me.
Not me.
You are not being blackmailed?
I run a top secret agency for classified affairs.
Which branch?
Legislative. There are 535 members having classified affairs.
Is that how you knew Colonel Mustard works in Washington? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking, Miss Scarlett.
Well, you tell them it's not true.
It's not true.
And is that true?
No, it's not.
A double negative.
A double negative? You mean you have photographs?
That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, that double negative has led to a proof positive. I'm sorry, Colonel, but you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other?
You don't need my help for that. Colonel, you hold a sensitive security post in the Pentagon. I'm sure those negatives will certainly compromise your position.
This is an outrage.
Mrs. White, you have been paying our friend, the blackmailer, ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances?
I didn't kill him.
Then why are you paying the blackmailer?
I don't want a scandal. You see, we had a very humiliating public confrontation. He was deranged. He was a lunatic. He didn't even seem to like me that much. He had threatened to kill me in public.
And why would he want to kill you in public?
I think she meant he had threatened in public to kill her.
And was that the final word on the matter?
Being killed is pretty final, wouldn't you say?
And yet, he was the one who died. Not you, Mrs. White. Not you.
What did the poor chap do for a living?
He was a scientist, nuclear physics.
What was he like?
He was a stupidly optimistic man. I'm afraid it came to him as a great shock when he died. He was found dead at home. He had been unclothed. His head had been cut off. But it wasn't me. I'd been out all evening at the movies.
Who was showing?
The naked alibi.
A likely story.
Do you miss him? Well, it's a matter of life after death. Now that he's dead, I have a life.
But he was your second husband. Your first also disappeared.
That was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never did.
He wasn't a very good illusionist. But my third husband, I miss him the most. He was an electrician. Well, until he was electrocuted.
And lastly, Mr. Green, who is a homosexual.
Not me! You asked who is homosexual, and I said not me.
And I'm saying you're an idiot.
All right. Wadsworth here is right. I do not follow creativity. I feel no personal shame or guilt about this, but I must keep it a secret, or I will lose my job on security grounds. Even though that's ridiculous, because alternate orientation is not a choice, but a genetic predisposition. Ah! Bless you!
Well, all right then, Wadsworth. You spilled our beans. Now what?
Where's this Mr. Boddy?
And what does he want from us?
Who cares? I've done nothing wrong. I'm not waiting to find out. I'm leaving.
Pardon me, ma'am. You can stay in denial all you want, but you can't leave this house.
I am the wife of the great senator of Tennessee. You can't tell me what to do. It's locked!
Open up, Rook.
It's locked!
Locked!
Indeed. All the doors are locked, the windows are barred, and the grounds are patrolled by vicious dogs. There's no way out.
You can't keep us up!
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Mr. Boddy, your host for this evening and your blackmailer for life.
How do you do?
Who do you think you are? I'll have you brought before Congress!
Your home is disgusting. Haven't you heard of a vacuum cleaner? You swine.
Why are you blackmailing us?
Bribing all these good people. I don't get it. What's in it for you?
You're such a typical man. Better off dead.
Oh, Mrs. White in the study with her fist.
Pardon me, but there's one more piece of information you may all like to have.
What?
The police are coming.
What are you talking about?
When are the police coming? Why are the police coming?
In less than an hour, the police will arrive. The bridge washed out from the rain. They're expecting to find one mastermind and the criminals he's detained.
That's us.
He's made it clear that there's evidence here and that they have much to gain. Unless
Unless what?
you agree to double down.
Double what?
You each pay me twice of what you have been paying. And I tell the police that it was a phony call and send them on their way. You refuse. And I put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings in the hands of the police and the press. I believe that some of you may face a lifetime of jail, while the others a lifetime of shame.
Get up immediately!
Unless what? Well, there's something else you can do for me. One little favor that would change the game. Something I just cannot bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please. What's this about, sir? In this bag, there are 6 gifts I have brought you from Washington. Things you might find useful this evening.
Thank you.
Open them.
Why not? I enjoy getting presents from men. A candlestick? What's this for?
A wrench? A lead pipe?
A dagger.
A revolver.
It's a rope, it's a rope. Oh, it's just a rope. Just a rope.
In your hands, you each hold a lethal weapon. You all showed up here tonight because you thought that the evidence held against you was so terrible that you do anything to keep it a secret. I'm putting that theory to a test. Mr. Wadsworth is the only other person who knows about your secrets, and it's costing me and you dearly to keep him quiet. You see, I wouldn't have to double your payment if I didn't have to pay Mr. Wadsworth here for his silence.
Mr. Wadsworth!
That's a lie! He may look suave and charming. Thank you. But really, conniving and manipulative.
False!
Why do you think he's called the police?
You call the police!
Only because he instructed me to. Did I? Or did Mr. Wadsworth call the police here himself so that he can carry out his greedy threat? Pay him more, or he reveals us and all our questionably legal behavior to the police. I would never! Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to somehow get rid of Mr. Wadsworth here, I will have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to police. As a matter of truth, if you can help me eliminate Mr. Wadsworth, who not only knows all of your secrets, but also mine, perhaps I can find it in my heart to eliminate your blackmail altogether and be done with this terrible business once and for all.
You would never! Why us, Boddy? Why don't you do your dirty work yourself?
Why should I? You are so uniquely motivated. After all I've done for you, this is how you repay me. Don't listen to him. He's a liar. I'm being blackmailed along with the rest of you.
Yeah, what did you do?
That's neither here nor there. The point is, I'm not just a butler. I'm an indentured servant. Oh, stop making a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way, ladies and gentlemen. This is your chance. Kill Wadsworth and end your blackmail forever.
It's Mr. Boddy!
Oh, thank God.
Is he breathing?
Stand back!
He's dead.
Who had the gun?
I did.
So you shot him?
I did!
When you did, who did?
Someone grabbed the gun from my hand and the next thing I knew it went off.
But
There's no gunshot wound.
Hey, look! He's right! There isn't! Hey, look! There's a bullet lodged here!
So how did he die?
I don't know. Being unbearably handsome doesn't make me a forensic expert.
So that means one of us must have killed him!
I didn't do it.
I need a drink.
Maybe he was poisoned by the soda.
It's all right, Mrs. Creeper. It's all right. Calm down. I have to stop her screaming.
Was the soda poisoned? I guess we'll never know.
Unless she dies too.
Who's in there? Who's screaming?
C'est moi!
Yvette? Is that you?
Oui!
Yvette, are you alright?
No!
Yvette, are you alive?
What? You idiot!
What else happens here with a murderer?
So, the murderer's here!
Oui!
Well,
Well, we're not looking at him. Uh-huh.
What took you so long?
I'm an old woman in an aggravated state of shock. It's amazing I'm anywhere. I got to this study. One of you is a killer.
How did you hear us in the study?
There's a tape recorder in the library. Monsieur Boddy asked me to record all your conversations.
Why would he ask you to record our conversation?
For more evidence, of course. When Wadsworth revealed all your secrets in the study, they were all recorded.
Oh, what a snake! I've got to find them. Where are these tapes?
The tapes? What about the body?
What body?
Body!
But, Yvette, why were you in there screaming all by yourself?
I was frightened. I also drank the cognac. What if I'm poisoning too? Oh, dear! I can't sleep. But one of you is a killer. Mr. Boddy's dead.
and we have to figure out which one of them did it.
What do you mean, which one of them?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, one of us did. We all had the opportunity and the motive. Mr. Boddy was a bully and a liar to us all. In fact, I would have killed him myself, but I didn't have any access to a weapon. Only the 6 of you did.
Don't look at me. All I got was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Who else could it have been? Who else was in the house?
Only the cook.
The cook's not here. Can somebody help me, please? I didn't do it.
I think you better explain yourself here, Wadsworth.
Me? Why me?
Who else would want to kill the cook?
Dinner wasn't that bad.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense. Let me defend.
Some defense. If I was the killer, I'd kill you next. I said if. There's only one admitted killer now, and that's not me. It's Mrs. White.
I've admitted nothing.
How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women's.
Yours.
5.
5?
Yes, just the 5. Husband should be like wet wipes. Soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if it wasn't you, who was it? Who had the dagger? It was Mr. Speaker.
Yes, but I put it down.
Where?
In the study.
When?
I don't know. Before I was slapped, after I was
Somebody please help me.
Gentlemen, might I suggest we move the cook's body to the study?
Why?
Because when the police come, and they will, we'll all be in custody and under suspicion for murder.
Murder?
Secondly, I'm the butler. I need to keep the kitchen tidy.
Mr. Green!
Why must I put the
The body's gone! There's nobody!
Nobody? Nobody? Mr. Boddy's body is gone! Maybe he wasn't dead?
He was!
Well, where is he?
He couldn't have been dead.
He was! At least, I thought he was.
Maybe there's life after death.
Life after death is as improbable as fun after marriage. If you'll excuse me, Anita, is there a ladies' room somewhere around here? No, I just need to powder my nose. There's a toilet over there.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but we do have the small issue of 2 dead bodies, one missing and one present, and the imminent arrival of the police, who, by my calculations, ought to be here in 37 minutes.
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that there's nobody else in this house?
No,
Then there is somebody else in this house.
I said no, meaning yes.
No meaning yes. Look, I want a straight answer. Is there somebody else in this house? Yes or no?
No.
No there is or no there isn't.
Yes.
There seems to be some confusion about whether we are the only people in this house.
There isn't.
There isn't any confusion or there isn't anybody in this house.
Either or both.
Just give me a clear answer.
Certainly. What was the question?
Is there somebody else in this house?
No!
That's what he says. But does he know? Look, we've got a killer, a missing dead body on the loose. One dead cook and all these weapons. The rope, the dagger, the revolver, the candlestick, the wrench. Who has the lead pipe? It's Mr. Boddy!
He was attacking her.
The body dead again. Somebody got.
Mrs. Peacock, where did this happen? In the bathroom. I opened the door, and there he was. He was going to attack me. He was lunging. But dead people don't lunge.
Well, he's certainly dead now. You're going to kill him twice.
It's what we call overkill.
What's the difference?
Makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We have to figure out who did it, where, and with what.
Seems like it was probably the lead pipe.
You don't say, Sherlock.
What kind of game you playing here, Wadsworth?
This isn't a game.
You! The lead pipe belongs to you!
But I dropped it while we were running to the kitchen.
So anybody could have picked it up.
There's no need to shout.
I'm not shouting. All right, I'm shouting. I'm shouting.
Hey! While you clowns lose your marbles, I'm over here trying to do something useful. Have you all forgotten the evidence against us?
The evidence!
It's locked. There must be a key.
The key. Mr. designed to check Mr. Boddy's pockets for the key to the briefcase which contains all the evidence, so that we may destroy the evidence forever and free ourselves of any chance of future blackmail.
But he's so bloody.
I'll do it. It's not there.
It's not? I see. Wrench. It's empty.
Empty? Then where is all the evidence?
I told you, Mr. Boddy was a liar. Had the evidence in a briefcase, my foot.
Well then where is it? What does he have on us? I can't stand all this uncertainty.
I assure you, Mr. Boddy possesses individual incriminating files against each of us, which he kept in one large beastly envelope marked confidential. Now, where that envelope is or what exactly it contains, I cannot tell. All I know is, if found, we're all goners.
We must find that evidence and destroy it.
Then we can finally put all of this behind us and move on with our miserable lives.
First things first, we're in a room with 2 dead bodies, 6 murderous weapons, and the officers are on their way.
Not to mention, there's a homicidal maniac about. Let's put the weapons back in Boddy's bag and bring it to the broom closet.
Yes, chivalry entails carrying dead
What's taking you so long?
Why don't you come here and pick the body yourself?
I grabbed it
Then,
Wait! What are you going to do with the key to the closet?
I'll put it in my pocket.
But what if you're the murderer?
I'm not!
But what if you are?
And I guess we'll throw it away.
Finally,
that's a good
something that you
How do you do, sir? Can we help you?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb the whole household, but my car broke down out here, and I was wondering if I could use your phone.
One moment, please. You come in, sir.
Thank you. Well, where is it?
What? The body?
The phone. What body?
There's no body. There's nobody. There's nobody. There's nobody in the study. No. But there's a phone in the lounge.
Thank you.
Once you finish your call, perhaps you'd be kind enough to wait in there.
Certainly.
Now listen. I estimate another 29 minutes until the police arrive. That gives us plenty of time.
To do what? Get killed?
Figuring out who the murderer is very important. But my immediate concern is recovering the evidence.
But how?
I suggest we we handle this in proper military fashion. We split up and we search the house.
Split up!
Yes?
But then one of us might run into the murderer.
Then one of us would have discovered who the murderer is.
Then one of us would be dead.
This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelette without breaking the egg.
But look at what happened to the cook.
Colonel, are you willing to take that chance?
What choice do we have?
None.
I suppose you're right.
That's you.
I swear to God, there's a cat in this house.
All right, troops. Divide and conquer.
And remember, no funny business. We must work as a team. What am I saying? It's not like any of you will chance upon the evidence and then purposely hide it to clear yourself of blame and then come to blackmail the rest of us to secure yourself with unseemingly but substantial fortune. What do you say? Good. Now you know you found the dirt when you find a black envelope marked confidential.
That's essential.
And consequential.
Let's meet back here in 10 minutes.
But what if one of us doesn't come back?
We'll remember you fondly. Six suspects, 2 murders, and 1 missing envelope of damning evidence hidden somewhere in this house, with the police arriving in 25 minutes. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We can't take any chances. Now, we are all in this together.
Hello? I'm a little nervous. I'm in this big house and I've been locked in the lounge. And the funny thing is, there's a whole group of people having some sort of party over here, and one of them is my old boss from.
Where is it?
Where's I don't know what you're talking about.
Either give it up or I'll have you singing soprano.
All right. I snatched it. But someone else snatched it from me.
Who?
Don't look at me.
I'm not looking at you.
Yes, you are. You're looking at me right now.
Hey, look. Scarlet flowers. My favorite. They smell divine. Here, see. Oh my God, it goggles!
Oh, come on. It's just a little flower. You don't have to get so emotional about it.
Not the flower kernel, smarty pants. A secret passage. Come on.
The ladies first, Miss College.
How? John, the kernel's juice is going fine.
I don't take orders. I give one. Oh, so where are we?
How should I know the lights are off?
Oh, well, turn them on.
I would if I could see anything.
Well, yeah. Maybe this would help.
Of course, the lounge. We forgot to look in the lounge.
Quite an oversight considering the dead motorist in the chair. Dead motorist!
Let us in! Let us in!
Let us out! Let us out!
We can't let you out. The door is locked.
You have the key. What? You locked the motorist in here.
Who cares about the key? Just open the door. They can't open the door without the key.
Oh, the key. The key. I have it. I have it. I don't. The key is gone.
Gone!
Gone!
Please let us out of here. There's a murder on the loose.
There's no alternative. I'm gonna have to break down the door. Stand back.
I think they are shooting at us.
Come out! The door is open! I'm done shooting!
Why were you shooting at us?
To open the door!
But you could have killed us. I could have been killed. And this is not a battlefield.
Da, Frenchie. You're really something else, huh? Say, where did you get that gun from anyways?
The broom closet. It was unlocked.
Unlocked?
Impossible. I have the key. I don't. The key is gone.
Gone? I thought you said you'd throw away the key to the broom closet. Wadsworth!
I did say that. But I didn't do that. We must have gotten distracted by the motorist at the door. And then one of you must have snatched it from me.
So, whoever took the keys is the killer.
Precisely.
I'm so smart. Sometimes I impress myself.
Speaking about the killer, there's a dead body in the lounge.
Again?
The motorist is dead.
It's true. Now there are 3 unsolved murders.
3? Which one of you killed him?
We found him together.
That door was locked.
Great trick getting through a locked door. My husband would have appreciated that. We went through a secret passage from the conservatory to the lounge.
Who designed this place?
The Parker brothers.
Maybe they'll go away.
I'm gonna open the door. It's the decent thing to do.
Don't worry, it's not the police.
It's the police!
Good evening. We've
guard the gates of this house. Did a motorist come here for help by any chance?
Well, actually, yes.
No! There seems to be some disagreement.
No.
Yes. May I come in and use your phone?
Of course you may, sir. There's a phone in the lounge. My mistake. You can use the phone in the study.
Perhaps you may use the phone in the library.
You're all acting rather peculiar. What's going on in the lounge and the study?
Lounging and studying.
Let me have a look.
No, thank you.
I'm sorry.
What?
Actually, I'd like to take a look around if you don't mind.
Of course. Allow me to give you a grand tour of Boddy Manor. Lord Boddy was declared Lord Boddy when somebody discovered an antibody which saved everybody. Notice the mahogany floors. Did you know mahogany was recorded in the 17th century to make canoes? Can you canoe?
What? Where'd everybody go?
Who? The brass doorknobs. The brass doorknobs were given to Lord Boddy in 18...
I don't care about the doorknobs, mister. What's going on around you? What are you hiding in those 2 rooms?
Which 2 rooms?
The lounge and the study.
Oh, those 2 rooms.
Yes!
I don't think you should go in, sir.
Why not?
I'm afraid it's all too shocking.
Welcome to the party.
It's not all that shocking. These folks are just having a good time. The free country.
I didn't know it was that free.
Why did you tell me this was a party?
My apologies, officer.
Evening, officer. How do you do?
Are these men drunk?
Dead. Drunk.
Want a sip?
Oh no. If I drank while on the job, the chief would kill me.
Killed if you do. Killed if you don't.
Sorry? Have a lovely evening, officer. Well, same to you. I don't know what you were so worried about. There's nothing illegal about any of this. Just don't let these fellas drive home drunk. Call them a cop.
A long black car.
Terrific. Now use your phone now.
Certainly. The library, officer.
Thank you.
Come on. Oh, it's a great job out there. Shut up! Now, let's finish searching the manor. I estimate another 17 minutes until the police arrive.
But the police just came.
Not the broken down car police. The criminal investigation police. Let's find the evidence, and we can't afford to have any more murders.
Hello? Hello? Is this phone working?
Hello? Hello?
It's me.
Oh, you frightened me. I thought he was a killer.
Did someone cut this line? Hello?
You sought right.
Oh, good. You can hear me. Listen, there's something funny going on around here. The lights just went off. You see, I found a car. You know that big mansion at the top?
Oh, the lights are back.
Oh, finally, my water.
Thank God.
It must have been a shot in the wire.
And the Lord
to mention why the lights went off in the first place.
Oh, who cares? We're still in the dark anyways. We're no closer to solving our murder mystery or unearthing the evidence against us. Do you hear that?
Sounds like a telephone is off the hook.
It's coming from the library.
That's where the killer must be.
Guard me. I'm going in.
What are you afraid of?
A fate worse than death.
No, just death. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Are you alright? Can we help you? A phone book, perhaps?
Hey, the butler asked you a question, officer. Hang up the phone already or I will. Hello?
We should be safe. Here in the kitchen.
Maybe it's another secret passage.
Why is there no one in this big house? Does anyone want any insurance?
Slime.
Three murders in 3 minutes. That's our best record.
Six suspects. 6 murders. Mr. Boddy by the bathroom. The cook in the kitchen. The motorist in the lounge. The officer in the library. Yvette in the kitchen. And the saleswoman in the hall. Not to mention one confidential envelope of missing damning evidence. Our evening's guests may be gifted at breaking the law, but they clearly need help in breaking a case. So, who is the killer, you may ask? I'm sure you have your suspicions, but we have no time to discuss that now. The police are nearly here. Very well. In order to figure out who the murderer is, I believe the best course of action is to start at the very beginning. Sometimes the most obvious answers are right under our noses.
I thought the cat was dead.
Yes, thank you, Colonel. So nice of you for joining us. Now, allow me to take you through the events of this evening, step by step. Now, try to stay with me. At the start of this evening, Yvette was here, waiting to serve them all a glass of soda. The doorbell rang. It was you.
I recognized you as Colonel Mustard. Yvette gave you a drink. Doorbell. Mrs. White. Pale and tragic. I introduced her to Yvette. They both flinched. Don't be ridiculous. I have never seen this woman before in my life. A rumble of thunder. A crash of lightning. Peacock. Green. Scarlet. Plum. They all arrived. That's when the cook banged the gong. And we all adjourned to the dining room. You found your names by your places. Chuck's fin soup, my favorite. And you had a letter, and you had a letter, and you had a letter. Get on with it! And we all went to the study. Mr. Boddy gave you your gifts, and you opened them. Oh, rope! Oh, it's just a rope. And then Mr. Boddy switched off the lights. Mr. Boddy lay on the sofa, apparently dead, but he wasn't really. He was really alive, but we didn't know it yet. Next. Mrs. Peacock drank his drink. As a plum suggested the drink might be poison. Oh! I had to stop her screaming. Suddenly, we heard more screaming from Yvette, and we ran to the library. You lock me in with a murderer. What? You idiot! But one of us wasn't there. Who? Mrs. Peacock!
I was there with the rest of you.
When we heard Yvette scream, we all ran from the study. But you lagged behind. I'm an old woman in an aggravated state of shock. It was the perfect time to commit murder. May I be my guest? It was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger.
God forbid!
I found your feather in the freezer, Mrs. Peacock. And it was your dagger that stabbed the cook in the chest.
Poor woman! I thought you liked her soup.
It was my favorite.
And then we all went to the kitchen. Mr. Green, you lay under the cook's corpse for approximately 1 minute and 57 seconds. And none of us even realized you were gone. Then we decided to move the cook to the study. But Boddy's body was gone. Mrs. Peacock stumbled into the room, body on her body. His body had been bludgeoned by the bathroom with the lead pipe.
By whom? It was Mr. Green by the bathroom with the lead pipe.
Preposterous!
I found your disgusting hanky just outside the bathroom when Mrs. Peacock was attacked by Mr. Boddy the second time that he died. And it was your lead pipe that was found in his skull. Couldn't stand the thought of Boddy getting away, huh? So you bashed his brains out.
Don't be ridiculous. I can't stand the sight of blood. It wasn't me.
Then we decided to destroy the evidence in Boddy's briefcase.
But it was empty.
Correct. The evidence Boddy was holding against us was gone.
That's when we locked away the murder weapons and ran to the front door to throw away the key. To the hall! Why are we running so much?
We opened the door and discovered the motorist.
Who got killed in the lounge?
But who killed him? That door was locked.
It was Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench.
I never lounge.
You stole the keys to the broom closet, grabbed the wrench, and did the deed. I didn't even know the man. To Colonel Mustard, your driver for life, Mike, the motorist.
Plus,
underestimate what you can do with a wrench, Mustard.
I know. How do you think I fixed the sink?
And then the doorbell rang.
Ding dong!
And the officer arrived.
That officer who got killed in the library?
It was Miss Scarlet in the library with the candlestick. I didn't do it. Oh yeah? Then why'd I find your mint box in a stack of books in the library?
You found my mint box before the officer even arrived.
Aha! So you admit you were in the library. What were you doing there, huh? Plotting a murder?
And how could I plot the murder of an officer I didn't even know was coming?
I rest my case.
I didn't do it. But I do know who killed the saleswoman.
You do?
It was Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
How could I? Yvette had the gun when she shot the lounge door.
But when the officer arrived, she passed it to you, hiding in that stupid French hat of yours. I found it when we were searching the house.
Proves nothing.
Maybe let's take things slow. Then you shot the saleswoman to death before she could finish her crowd notes. Wonder what kind of dirt she had on you. Bet she was an old patient of yours or something, right?
This is ridiculous. I didn't do it. I didn't even know the girl.
I know. It was Mrs. White with the rope in the kitchen.
I'd rather die.
I saw how you cringed when you came tonight and noticed you back. You mentioned your third husband was an electrician. Stands to reason. You know your way around an electric panel. So it was you who switched off the lights and strangled you with the rope.
I did not! I mean, yes, I'll admit, I recognized Yvette. She had a torrid love affair with my late husband. I hated her. I hated her so much. It was the flames on the side of my face, heaving, breathing.
Mrs. White!
I didn't kill her!
So, in summation, thank God, it was Mr. Green by the bathroom with the lead pipe. Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger. Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench. Miss Scarlet in the library with the candlestick. Mrs. White in the kitchen with the rope. And Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
Wait a minute! There's one thing I don't understand.
One thing.
Please! Nobody move!
What the? How did you?
You can call me Wadsworth if you like.
That is your real name, isn't it?
You all thought it was Mr. Boddy that was killed tonight, but that's impossible.
But he bled all over me.
But it wasn't Boddy who was bleeding.
If Boddy wasn't Boddy, then who was he?
He was Wadsworth, my butler.
You're Mr. Boddy!
Now, we're going to stack the bodies in the cellar, lock the cellar door, and leave quietly, one at a time, and forget that any of this ever happened.
I can't forget all this.
Oh, I almost forgot. Now, with murder on the menu, the price of blackmail Just triple.
Now move!
Wait a minute! We cannot rush him. He's got no more bullets left in that gun.
You really think I'm gonna fall for that old trick?
It's not a trick. There was one shot at Mr. Boddy in the study, two at the gang, two at the lunch door, and one at the saleswoman.
That's not 6.
That's 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
Only one got the cat. That's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Even if you won, right? That's 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. Now 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
1 plus... Shut up! Point is, there is one more bullet in this gun. Anyone that moves is gonna get it.
So you're gonna keep blackmailing us? And we'll pretend that none of this ever happened? That's the plan?
Of course. Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Larry Goodman, FBI!
Mr. Green! FBI, that's Rippling Stooge! Did you see this coming?
Quit talking to the audience, Wadsworth. Or should I call you Mr. Boddy? The jig is up.
You're really FBI?
That's right. The real Mr. Green received a letter just like each of you. Except he came to the bureau to ask for help. I'm an agent out of the Hartford office who's apparently a dead ringer for Green. I took his place tonight so we could have a sting operation.
Some sting. 6 people died on your watch.
Excuse me, because the real Mr. Boddy over here knew what Green actually looked like. I usually work the Hartford desk on property crime. You know, theft, fraud and the like. I've become a bit of an expert in the art of pickpocketing. That's how this large envelope, marked confidential, ended up with me tonight, and not any of you.
You have the evidence.
It's all here. We had our suspicions on what this might contain, but I never imagined it would be this rich.
Hey, let me see that.
Let's all take a look, shall we? Here's Miss Scarlett's accounting book for her classified affairs service, giving plenty of motivation as to why she killed the officer, who's listed right here on her payroll.
Give me that!
Then, we have this love letter addressed to Professor Plum.
Hey, that's private property.
That saleswoman was the daughter of the head of the U.S. Department of Social and Behavioral Sciences. Looks like she was just about to come clean to her father, who most certainly would have cleaned out Professor Plum over here. Guess that's why you killed her.
Now, see here,
And
that's
these
not...
negatives. My oh my, Colonel. It looks like you've had quite a bit of classified affairs yourself. Guess you wouldn't have gotten to keep your important military title if your old driver, that unfortunate motorist who stopped by the house tonight, had informed your Major General where he drove you every Tuesday night.
I just wanted somebody to talk to.
Talking. Ha! That's a democratic way to put it.
I'm a hip-hop!
And poor Mrs. Peacock. Here's your Bible. Made it pretty easy to stash your cash for bribery, no? Too bad your old cook couldn't keep her mouth shut. If only she hadn't told Mr. Boddy her secrets, maybe she'd still be alive today.
God forgive Saul.
And Mrs. White, you weren't lying, were you? You really did hate to bet.
So much! It was the flames! The flames on the side of my
Here's
head!
a container holding your fingerprints, collected at the crime scenes of your previous murders.
I didn't kill any of my husband!
Fingerprints that I'm sure the FBI will be able to match to the noose tied around Yvette's neck.
I wore gloves!
See these?
Jim!
And last, but certainly not not least, Mr. Bobby Boddy.
It's Robert.
I hold in my hand an FBI file on the whole Big Body family. Your butler, Wadsworth, has been feeding us information for months. I can see why you killed him. Your shot missed him in the study, but he wisely played dead. Awfully good actor, had us all convinced. But while we were running from the kitchen with the dead cook, you found your sneaky butler trying to make his escape by the bathroom and bludgeoned him to death with the lead pipe I dropped on the hallway floor while running to the kitchen.
That was convenient.
And you left him dead in the bathroom, propped up against the door for poor Mrs. Peacock to encounter moments later.
You swine!
The Boddy family has been wanted for organized crime, blackmail, and murder for generations, but they've always eluded the law. Until now. Tonight, the Boddy family business has reached a dead end.
You leave my family out of this.
Nice counting, Miss Scarlett.
Time? Not yet. 32 seconds. Oh, yes. He's dead. Not yet!
Now, I tell you, this was the most exciting night I've had in a long time. And now, you're all under arrest! Ladies! And here's all the evidence against them. Oh, and there are some tapes in the library you might find useful as well.
The tapes!
Alright, who done it?
They all did. But if you want to know who killed Mr. Boddy, it was me. In the hall with the revolver. Okay, Chief, take him away.
What? I'm too busy to
Police were always here, Boddy. And now, I'm gonna go home to my wife.
Okay, now for all the teams, first we have the actors. Nayanthara, Shiva, Anand, Yesha, Mayank, Sana, Kailash, Ajay, Naisa, and Srinidhi.
Up next, we have the production team.
Vishnu, Ananya, Adishri, Imran, Nayanthara, Puneet, Samahit, Pratiksha, Anand, Yesha, Sharanya, Suryaprabha, Mini, Kailash, Sujal, Devika, Kia, Naisa, Srinidhi, and Neelam. And over to you. Now for hair, makeup, and costumes.
Please come and give us
Ananya, Aranya, Adishri, Yesha, Surya, Sharanya, Sujal, Devika, Simran, and Arundhati. Music team. Saveri,
Up next, we have the script team. Please come up guys.
big round of applause there. Come on. Ananya, Priyanka, Adishri, Purujit, Sarah, Ajay, Pratiksha, Saveri, Greg, Devika, and Arundhati. Now, Ishta Kola for being a prompter.
We'd also like to thank Panta for working on the lights.
And now we would like to thank the directors. Gerard Uncle for assisting us with all the inputs. And now Veep, guys. Big round of applause.
We'd like to thank the Art Village and dining staff who have really helped us throughout, providing us with energy and space.
We also like to thank Snehal and the Chanti for all their inputs. Thank you.
We'd like to thank Rupanti for literally bringing her house here and we'd also like to thank every single teacher and staff who has helped us throughout. Putting up this play, it wouldn't have been possible without them. So thank you so much.
And now for you. Thank you.
And also the audience for being a wonderful, wonderful audience. Very lovely. Thank you.
This part was going so well. Well lit.
Well done, Levin!